Alright, back by popular demand, let's play some more Gunk. I really enjoyed this game yesterday, and I'm glad other people did as well. And so, of course, I'm gonna sit down and actually finish this. Oh, you know what? I have my headphones turned up. Go figure. I was like, this game is blasting in my ears and I don't know why. Oh, there's no mapping module. Honestly, mostly fine with that. This game is linear enough that I don't need one, but at the same time, I've been playing Final Fantasy IV lately, and yeah, it's fine. I've been playing Final Fantasy IV lately, and map completionism is like one of the core components of that game. And it actually is kind of uncomfortable playing a game where I don't have a map and can't exactly tell where I'm supposed to be going. I'm pretty sure it's here, but I could be wrong. I don't know. My brain is cooked. This year has been, nope, it ain't this one. No, this didn't regrow. I feel a bit bad for just raiding that plant, but at the same time, I don't know. Oh! Where are we going over there? Maybe, because we sure as heck aren't going over here. Let's just go this way. I didn't really comment on it. I like the soundtrack for this game. It's very pleasant. It's got kind of a nice synthwave vibe to it. Okay, oh, right. It's over here, and it was the deer was being chased and attacked. And so we have to go save it. That's what it was. There it is. That said, the little buggers really are just kind of there. Now, I had a lot of people mad at me because I wasn't scanning things well enough. I'm gonna try and be better about that. I realized halfway through that there was a lot of stuff.
Hey, leave it alone, you little turds! Scram!
Got it. Okay. Gunk critter. These beasties are made at a gunk hardened version. They won't stray too far from the... I don't know if I'm going to be able to read that particularly well, unfortunately. Oh. I should actually let them spawn. Reason being, I'm not going to get alien material if I don't. Okay, is that all of them? Because, yeah, I killed the one that was spawning. Hopefully we won't have to care too much, or the game will give us some kind of slightly more infinite resource somewhere. It doesn't matter that much one way or another, but it's kind of one of those where I'd absolutely hate to find out that my own exuberance at taking enemies out, or, you know, preventing combat from even happening, really, screwed me out of getting a resource that I needed for an upgrade. I guess I could always just hack some more in. Like, it's one of the...
Ronnie? I lost your signal. Everything okay?
Yeah, sure. It's just... I think the animal might be hurt. I want to check on it.
Why this obsession with animal care? Just feels like we should be focusing on more practical matters. It's not like we haven't got zoos back home.
Okay, do we have anything else? One of the problems I have with the scanning is that you have to be pretty close to it to actually see the, like, hey, you can scan this icon pop up. It's not a big deal, but it's there. Is this somewhere I can actually go to? Kind of. But I don't actually see if there's... Yeah, I don't see anything. Well, let's just go. Yeah, what was I saying? I don't even remember. Talking about the soundtrack, talking about other things, talking about scanning. Right, wishing it had a little bit more range to it. Wait, can I go through? No. Looked like there might have been a crawl spot there. Oh, right, giving myself resources. One of my favorite parts about playing on PC is being able to mod games or hacks in resources if, like, a game screws me over. Or if, you know, it's like, hey, you want to grind for, like, 10 hours to get this, like, really rare item? And I'm like, no. I can actually, like, have the power to say no. And a lot of games don't give you that. I actually used to like playing consoles for the exact opposite, or for the exact same reason. You know, back in the day of Game Shark and whatnot, it was perfect. You could just, it's like, oh, you know, I just caught a new Voltorb and you want an Electrode, but you really don't want to grind it up to max level because the XP sharing in red and blue version is ass. Well, Game Shark. Or, you know, just missing no and just get a ton of rare candies. Like, both would work, and it was great, and I loved it. And I honestly want to say that having access to a Game Shark for both my N64 and for my Game Boy really did tinge, like, how I see and play games. And so whenever I'm put in a position where I, like, don't have enough resources in a game, and I don't really care to go out and, like, get all the goodies.
Oh, look at you. You're okay. You're saying hello, aren't you? Hi. Hi there. All right. Off you go. What the hell is that? Whoa, that thing is massive. Hey, Pex, looks like we're not the first intelligent life on this rock after all. I mean, there are structures all over this area.
What?
Yeah, there were definitely people living here.
I hope you're sure about the past tense. I'm not up for alien encounters.
Sure looks deserted. I'll send you some scans.
My headcanon for this game is it's set in the same universe as Deep Rock Galactic. I know they're completely different developers, but nothing would amuse me more than to have kind of that weird crossover lore. Somebody had asked if I realized these are like space dwarves. I don't think they are. I think they're just kind of a stylized human instead. But it would be kind of amusing if it was like, yeah, no, they're just dwarves. Here, check the picture of my like grandfather, and it's just straight up just I don't know, King Under the Mountain or something ridiculous like that. Though I don't think he had kids. In retrospect. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's just Gimli. Let's just go with Gimli. Who knows if he had kids? I don't even know if that's biologically possible with elves, but you never know. Yeah, I've scanned this one. I'm glad that it actually shows me when I'm, you know, pulling a vacuum on some of these. It'll be like, yeah, you haven't scanned this one yet. I need to pay more attention to that. Just to finish what I was saying, though, having access to all those cheat codes when I was younger, I think really has tinged how I see and play games. I have no idea how to go back to the base, and at this point I'm afraid to ask. Because I really want to go back and actually, you know, get some upgrades, but it has not given me the opportunity to do so. Maybe I could turn around, but still.
Whoa, look at these inscriptions. Hey, Bex, how are your skills in ancient alien alphabets, huh?
Bit rusty, to be honest. But send a scan my way and I'll have the computer work on it. This translation's gonna take a while.
Any clues on how to crack this gate open?
Seems like the control mechanism is triggered by some sort of energy pulse.
I've got a wonky thermal accelerator on my workbench, and I think I should be able to modify the glove. Okay, I'm heading back to camp.
Finally! You should find a good spot for putting down a signal beacon. Maybe over by the statue. It'll make it easier for you when you want to return there later.
Can I scan the door? Nope. Okay. I know there are people out there that will absolutely, like, malign my... Oh, that's cool looking. Oh, you know what? That's probably where the beacon's supposed to go. I really like the kind of corrosion or the mud or whatever on this rock surface. It's got a lot of blues, purples, reds, and oranges, and a little bit of green. Actually, a lot of green. It's a nice modeling. Most games just have kind of boring stone. But this game is a mastercraft in how to make environments look stylish and interesting, as opposed to just drab and boring. Even the stone texturing is incredible. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, and while I love it... Oh, right. While I love it, the environments...
This fellow's deal? What were you up to?
I love the game, but the environments look like ass. But then again, I'm also just only in Stormblood, so we'll see what the later stuff has.
This thing is old. A couple centuries at least.
Dang!
This statue, like the rest of the ruins in this area, is at least a couple centuries old. The material composition seems to harden during oxidation. The computer will have to crunch away at the language to used to inscribe the base. Looks like we might have also got an upgrade there.
The metallurgy here is advanced. A lot of care went into erecting this thing.
Yeah, it sure is imposing. Must be someone important, right?
People rarely build statues over those who didn't make some huge difference. Could be a savior. Or a dictator, hard to guess.
Hey, we can go back now, though. Okay, and now we can just warp between. Cool. We might do a run-through of the places I've already been to see if I can get some extra materials, but only if it seems terribly necessary.
I'm really hungry.
Oh, you want to know how I've been? Well, Kurt got his joints clogged with mud. Blew a fuse when I tried to clean them. I've killed about 1 million of those nasty bugs. Not to mention the moist and the corrosion. Great day.
I'm sorry I kept you waiting. But you know what I'm like when I get excited. Let's eat. That was so good.
Oh, yeah. My taste buds are still in heaven. Well done, Kurt.
You got served.
Tomorrow I gotta find a way to change his speech code. He needs to learn to say something else.
Well, I'm going back out as soon as the sun's up. That animal I saw, I can't even describe it. It was so beautiful. And we've discovered traces of an old civilization. Who were they?
And can it tell us something about the energy signal? That's what I want to know.
Yup. Hey, you should come with me for once. Let's adventure together.
In these shoes? Nah.
Maybe we'll get famous. I can picture the headlines. Scavengers discover unknown alien world. Make a fortune.
Scrappers try to escape deaths, die in agony on shitty space rock.
Everything's gonna be fine. I can feel it in my guts.
Wish my guts were more like yours. Planning on sitting out here all night or what?
Just a bit longer.
Suit yourself. I'm hitting the bunk. Lights out, Kurt.
You got served.
Apart from cooking, I'm not clear on what Kurt is used for. Okay. And did the environment change? It might have? Sometimes they'll actually, like, move or add things. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so what do we need? Glove grip soldering we already got. Energy lure. Now that attracts gunk creatures. Let's see. Collect alien material to regain health. I mean, that'd be good. Pulse cannon. This is the one we have to have. Left trigger, beat a fire.
Cool. I'm loving this new look for Pumpkin. Badass.
Get a room, you two.
Okay, so what else can we get? We need the sprint baseline. That's gonna make my life a lot easier. Let's see, that's vacuum radius. So, yeah, those are good. I mean, I guess I might as well grab those. Because I don't care too much about damage. This would be nice. This gives me extra movement speed, but only when I'm sucking up gunk, which is less than useful. We'll go with those. The sprint is there. It's not huge, but it's there. Alright, how do I warp back?
When you're out climbing all over those ruins,
Oh.
try to avoid scratching any elbows or something. I'm not sure the little we have left rattling around in the med pact would do much against alien tetanus.
Alien tetanus can just try to come for me. This immune system is rock solid. I never get sick.
You mean that runny nose and obvious fever you had the other month wasn't you being sick?
Oh, that. That was just a bit of a sniffle, nothing that could hold me back.
So here's the question. Do I go back and look for resources?
Ronnie, wait. Seriously, you have to be careful out there.
It's been you and me for the last 5 years, Becks, and that's not gonna change.
Are we clear on that?
Aye, Captain. Crystal.
I gotten now. It's very, very slow. But I can't imagine this is much of a, like, really heavy fighty game. Oh. Oh, it's like a heating light element thing. Bit big, ain't it? Let's see. I was really hoping there'd be some kind of, like, resource tracker. You know, just to see, like, hey, have I missed too much? I'm sure I have. I'm just gonna go...
Let's try this.
I'm just gonna go with this for now, and we might come back to this later.
Bullseye!
Okay. An inscribed tablet made out of strong mineral and metal composite. The inscription is still readable, but translating it fully will take a while. At least mentions a pulse of light being needed to open the door. Oh, and we're on to the new zone. Perfect. I am...
This is so cool. The beings that built all this new engineering and how to organize their efforts. Why did they disappear? Do you think there was a war, or maybe it was us? Humans, I mean.
We would have read about it. Not like we've encountered a lot of other beings in the galaxy.
I'm still massively impressed that Image and Form did this. And I remember when SteamWorld Dig 1 was just like a cute little 2D game on the 3DS. And that just was who they were. They were such a small team too. I think it was only like a couple
They sure
of
had a
folks.
thing for locked gates.
Since when is a locked gate anything but a challenge to you?
Didn't say I wasn't gonna open it.
And now, I mean, I have no idea. I'm not going to say they must have hired somebody for this, but like, this is one of the nicest looking 3D games I've ever played. And to go from SteamWorld Dig to this, without any prior, like, 3D modeling game, like 3D modeling work, is nothing short of impressive. Most games, maybe it's just me growing up in the era between the SNES and the N64, and seeing just tons of developers just absolutely whiff it when it came to the transition. You know, like the N64 coming out and 3D becoming industry standard killed a lot of great developers, and then going from like low poly to HD killed even more. And, like, maybe this isn't going to be as successful as I'm hoping it's going to be for them, but it's kind of one of those where it's like, this is really impressive. This is scannable, yeah? It says it's scannable, but it doesn't seem to like it. Alright, whatever.
What's going on here? The gunk's going all crazy around this weird pipe.
Almost like it's aware of it.
A weird pipe? Are you being careful?
Yes, the gunk just seems more aggressive.
Okay, let's start with the obvious. I wonder if I can... No. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could actually kill or shoot the gunk critters into the flying gunk clouds and have it do like explosive damage or something to knock it off.
Whoa, whoa! The ping just spiked. What's going on?
Me and Pumpkin just cleared the gunk around the pipe. And it doesn't look like the other ruins. It looks active.
And we just happened to get another energy ping. The gunk seems to be drawing energy out of the stuff, right? And it was like all attracted to the pipe. So,
The pipe is full of energy.
bingo. Now, where does the pipe lead? Follow it.
I mean, it's over there, but first I must grab all of my goodies. Is there stuff down there? I don't think so. I wish they had chosen something other than just energy as their MacGuffin resource that they're hunting for. You know, it could be some kind of rare liquid commodity or unknown material or something like that. Just calling it energy, I don't know, bugs me a little bit because it feels like energy to some degree. I'm not going to say it's like an infinite resource, but Dyson spheres? Dyson spheres. Gosh, I need to play Dyson Sphere Program again. That game is fun. A little slow, but fun all the same. It was interesting, kind of in the discourse of the idea of a weekend game and games that, you know, can be completed relatively quickly. So you don't feel like you're coming back for a whole month just to finish it. I'd seen one comment saying that, like, yeah, it's nice to have a game that you can complete in an evening or a weekend, but sometimes you want to lose yourself in like a 100-hour game. I think that's it for me with like automation games and factory management games. That for me, that's the kind of game that I can lose 100 hours in. But if it's a story, I want it to be concise, or at least I want this story games to be as long as they need to be. So like The Witcher, I lost steam on. Skyrim, I think is probably.
What's this thing?
Stun pulse array. Natural compartment in this macro structure keeps the internal matter from mixing. Breaking the thin separating structure with blunt force will cause an instantaneous explosive reaction.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it bomb. Okay, there we go. It was a bomb.
Hell yeah!
Nice. Well, like, Skyrim for me will always be one of those games that almost should not have had a story. Skyrim, Elex, and a couple other ones, like, I'm sure the story is fine.
Becks? I think I know where the polluted river comes from. What an awful place.
You still that pipe?
It runs right through the cliffs on the other side of this lake. Looks like there's an entrance there.
Can you cross it on your own? I'd rather not start up Bunny. She's got 2 good launches left at most.
There are more ruined structures in the lake. Maybe I can... No worries. I'll figure something out.
Try to remove some more gunk from the pipe if you find any. Getting more readings from the energy spikes could help me with locating the source.
Sure thing. This place could use some cleaning up.
But like, you know, it's fine that Skyrim had a story, or the story that it had.
Huh.
But it feels like for many...
Yeah, this'll do. If I line them up, I should be able to cross. I just need to find a way to rotate the other pieces too.
It's always felt to me that a lot of the like really big open world games should almost never have stories and should just be kind of games that are fun to run around in and play.
Might be able to track the pipe through here.
But there's, you know, maybe you have a bunch of kind of main stories, but none of them are the singular main story, if that makes sense. Where it's just like, yeah, this is the story arc related to this city, and this NPC faction. And if you want that to be the main story for you, cool. But it doesn't have to be. And maybe also like an amount of emergent storytelling and some other stuff. I know people have said Kenshi in the past. It kind of does this sort of thing, and I'm sure that's got to be somewhat valid. Unfortunately, that's like a hundreds of hours of anything kind of game. That one's a little tough for me. I mean, even to the point of Mass Effect. As much as this might be a hot take, I think Mass Effect would have been a really strong game if there was a story, but it took a backseat to you being kind of this interstellar superstar, secret agent, commando that solves problems everywhere. And I guess that's what it was in the end. An alien device triggered by an energy pulse, primarily utilized to control latch mechanisms. Can I scan this door yet? No, it doesn't really want me to. And I think it's fine for, like, Mass Effect to have been what it was. But I just always wanted more time to, like, really get into the Krogans or the Geth or the Quarians.
They worked metal, built statues of their leaders. Did they have a belief system, you think?
I don't know. Maybe. My expertise is in hauling stuff across the galaxy. If only there was more work in alien antiquities.
Ooh, space archaeologists.
If it can lead us closer to the source of the energy signal, I'm all for it.
I know. Find energy, go home, get rich. But also, space exploration.
Oh. I'm used to actually platforming off of those. Yeah, why not? I'm actually trying to think of more kind of open-worldy, open-ended games that have no strict ending, so you can play them as much as you want. Because I think that's the thing for me and like automation sims that draws me in so much. Is in a lot of cases automation sims don't have an ending, or if they do have an ending, it's like so far down the line many people just might never see it. But it doesn't matter because you can just play as long as you want and then stop whenever you want. And I wish more games kind of had that intrinsic to their design. You know, for a game like this, 6, 7, maybe 8 hours long if you're kind of going slow, you know, having a really linear storyline for that works. But when your game is a linear storyline, it's 100 hours long, like that's, you gotta really flesh that out. And I find a lot of games that are that long just don't. I don't know why I'm still on this conversation. It's just
Maybe
been stuck in my head.
I can shoot that thing down?
It's been stuck in my head ever since I played Persona 5 years ago. Like, I really enjoyed the game, but it was also just painfully long. There we go. I think I kind of run into the same issue with, yeah, games like Skyrim and Elex and some other things, where I would love for nothing more than to just play the games for maybe like 15 hours. Maybe go through like 1 or 2 story quests and then stop, but have it be kind of a self-contained narrative. Now, there's another one. And not feel like if I were to play it again, I'm retracing all of my steps. Doing the exact same thing all over again.
Hey, Becks, do the inscriptions mention anything about who this fellow is by any chance? You think it's their god?
I don't think so. But the text seemed quite poetic. There's a rhyme to it, like phrases from a fairy tale. Computer's still working on the last bits.
I'm digging this, though. This is one of my favorite tropes, is always the mysterious ancient aliens that have gone missing.
They really thought thought this fellow was a big deal.
Maybe.
Looks like a
we were
monument to a
forced
ben-
think so.
What's going on here? Is it a meeting or a summoning? Maybe this large guy built this whole place, like a founder of the society.
Looks like a monument to a benevolent god. The computer still isn't done with the translation, but from the fragments completed, it seems to have something to do with the flow of energy. Something like the word Geist seems to be used synonymously with energy. Okay, these ones don't explode on me. Okay, there we go. That log was not going away, but it's fine. Now, can I actually get up here and scan it? No. Are these the same race? Yes? It's hard to tell. They both have three-fingered hands, but this guy is portlier and fleshier. Whereas this guy is either wearing armor or he's full or even partly or even full robotic, and it's kind of hard to tell. Maybe they figured out how to convert themselves into metal. And then became the Gunk as a result of it. Because Grey Goo event. It could be. I think that actually would be a really interesting kind of alt take here, that this is a society that did Grey Goo itself. Grey Goo being nanites. Effectively creating intelligent nanites, and instead of doing what they're supposed to do, they just eat all intelligent life and become the dominant life form. They effectively just eradicate all of humanity, or whatever the race is that invented them. It's one of the fears in regards to intelligent machines, that, you know, it's not that they're going to go on Skynet and like go full Skynet and just eradicate humanity.
It's getting worse again. Okay.
The Gunk close to the pipe seems more hostile, but nothing we can't handle.
Let's see. Yeah. I got a very distinct feeling I'd missed something here. And I was not wrong. Gosh, I love the visuals on this. I love how the moment you get into the Gunk territory, it really does. I can't tell what's going on. There we go. Okay. I guess I should wait. No, there was some alien material there. It's probably fine. Like I said, though, if it does get to the point where we're missing an amount of resources, like we get to the end of the game and I have some but not enough to get everything.
Hey, another signal spike. The closer you get to the other side of the lake, the stronger the readings get.
I'm guessing we'll find some sort of answer through that opening. Just one more to go, I think. You know, I think they valued beauty.
How can you tell?
It's just a feeling. These ruins have something aesthetic about them. Like they were built not just for function.
I think that's actually a very poignant point for me. The idea of building not just for function but for beauty. And maybe this a lot of this. Well, no, this comes from a lot of things. But I grew up in a town, at least partly in a town, that actually was pretty aesthetic. You know, the town hall was like a pretty nice looking building. Yeah, it was brick, but it looked good, and the library looked even better. But the high school was literally built by a prison architect. Like the guy designed prisons for a living, but also our high school for some reason. And this wasn't like an uncommon thing in Massachusetts. But the entirety of the school only had, I'm going to say, 3 windows that opened in the entire school. it was dismal being there. And ultimately, like, did our best, and it was mostly fine, but there was definitely this kind of feeling of just like, this could be so much better, and I can't believe, somebody thought this is a good idea.
If I do.
Nowadays, I'm older and a little bit more jaded, and I realize that, no, I totally understand why hiring a prison architect makes perfect sense, because, there's some old moron that is trying to cajole a college down in California into making effectively prison dorms. With no windows that open up, if I remember right, and only like 2 exits and a bunch of other things that just make it truly horrendous for anybody to live in there.
Well, this way feels promising.
Let's hit this way because it's got the bomb. I don't actually... there we go. But so, like, as a kid, it made no sense to me. Nowadays, I just realized that it's capitalism. Capitalism and an ego trip for some rich jerk. But still. I don't... Oh, right. Aesthetic. Sorry. But with so many of these things, with this prison school that I went to and these prison dorms that are being suggested, and honestly just being out and about in a lot of the modern world, especially in the US. Those of you in Europe don't know how good you got it in certain cases, because there's there are actually a number of buildings in Europe that look really nice, holdovers from the olden days, different architectural periods that weren't just brutalistic buildings meant largely for some kind of industrial or corporate purpose. And that
This society has stood here for a long time, and now it's just empty. Not a trace of life. Like they just up and left.
Maybe it was the Gunk. It seems like a difficult thing to coexist with. Probably better for us anyway.
And then I realized it would be a lot of extra work, effort, and I'm sure money to make a society with this level of like inscribed detail on our walkways and our surfaces and our arches and so on and so forth. But at the same time, you gotta wonder if people would be a lot happier in that case. And also just our society would be better. And maybe this also comes from me being...
Maybe this can help me?
an artist, I guess not by trade anymore. I mean, kind of. Will that actually get rid of the gun? Oh, it does. But, I went to college for illustration.
Sweet. Natural bridges. All right.
And my original goal was to be, just a full-on professional artist. But it's always felt, especially post-graduation, no, even pre-graduation, people have never quite had a proper appreciation for, like, art, aesthetic, and beauty. Like, yeah, people look at something and be like, oh, that's beautiful. But I don't think a lot of people realize just how much, like, a lack of art in people's lives really does cause... Oh, no, okay. Really does cause... Oh. You can scan the junk. Well, I'm glad I did. I didn't actually get to read the lore for it. I guess we have the encyclopedia. Here we go. Pile of assorted rune scraps could be cleared with a bit of elbow grease, but the process could be sped up with a well-placed explosive. Oh. 30 out of 34. Interesting. Hoping it would actually tell me how many things there would be to scan so I could keep an eye out for it.
You played a big part in the history of this place, didn't you? How's it going with the language translation?
Still haven't got all of it. I think it mentions the energy, though. Not sure how it translates. Something like Geist?
I found another inscripted statue. Maybe it's a scene from their holy script or something?
Might be. But we're not here to study religion.
The larger being portrayed in these statues must have been someone important, if not a god. The word gardener or gardener keeps popping up frequently. God, what was it? I was reading a thing yesterday about how Jeff Bezos, former CEO of Amazon, I'm pretty sure he still owns all of it and a bunch of other things. The guy doesn't like to listen to music. He hates the sound of it, I believe. Obviously, I could be wrong on this, but it seems just ridiculous enough to be true. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't like certain types of music. I have a lot of trouble with modern rap. Often because I find it portrays unhealthy cultural standards and is a little bit more like either angry or I hate using the word immoral, but often it's like money, women.
There's another word that's frequent in the text, though. The computer suggests it translates to garden. Or maybe gardener?
I wish the computer would work faster. I can't wait to see the whole picture.
Money, women, and violence seem to be the kind of underlying threads, and I get why. There's very clearly like a common thread in society for why those things specifically would come up a lot in a lot of modern music, not just rap. But I find it is more prevalent there, and so I don't like that music as much for those reasons. Okay. I believe I have a bomb directly above my head. Yeah, we do. Alright, here's the thing. Get that one first. Oh, there we go. But whenever you hear about somebody that truly does not like art, or does not like music, or does not like... as ridiculous as this sounds, I find anybody that has an extreme distaste for video games, or just play, and maybe that's it, that there's kind of this bad mindset for having fun.
I knew there was something here.
Or maybe a dismissiveness towards childish things. Or just kind of appreciating the world for what it is, or the things in it, or something like that. You really could switch it out with a lot of stuff, but really anybody that has this extreme dismissiveness towards creativity, I find those people tend to be, I don't want to say regressive, but unhealthy. It's an unhealthy mindset to have, and an unhealthy place to be, and often in a way that ends up kind of taking the environment down with them, much like brutalistic architecture. There's something really cool about it sometimes, but when it's all the time, then it's just sad.
There's static on the radio again. That means more gunk.
We'll take care of it.
I just want to make sure any creatures that get popped out of this don't send their resources flying off into the sunset. I'd be a sad camper if that was the case. Huh, you can actually split the
Sweet, another energy
goop groups.
spike. The location's still fuzzy, but it's definitely related to whatever is on the other side of the doorway.
Can shoot those. I will keep that in mind. Yeah,
All right, here we go. Time to see where all this leads to.
Can't wait.
I wonder how they built all of this. No traces of machinery.
Maybe like the pyramids back home. I read about it in this expose in Mech's Digest. No one really knows how they were built. Should have been impossible without modern tools.
Yeah, I read that too. That's the sort of feeling I get from this place.
just to finish my thought, I've met a lot of people in this line of work that specifically were, I'm gonna say, anti-fun? It's weird to categorize that because it feels like I'm belittling a point just by saying it in that manner, but it often comes down to it, you know, the get a real job, or, you know, oh, you just play children's games for a living. It's like, there's a lot more to it than just that, though. There's true art right now. Gosh, this is actually really pretty. Holy shit. I'm just kind of taking it in here. But I guess I just get hung up on those people a little bit because I just feel bad for them. Like, what do you have to live for? Sunday football? It's actually, I mean, the one that I can think of specifically very much does that. And I realize that probably tinges my opinions in a bad way of just like the people I run into. Most of the ones that are most dismissive have their own vices that are just as juvenile, if not worse than mine. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's just a thing and an observation and kind of a sadness because, like, I wish people could appreciate this like I do sometimes, because I'm actually really impressed. Even just the swirly cloud texture for the skybox. Like, there's something absolutely incredible about all of this that very few games make me stop to, like, just look at it for a long time. And in this game, I almost kind of wish I had more time to do so. But it's fine. For now, though, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode of The Gunk.